It's the Weekly Show with David J. Maloney. This week, David talks to Major League Soccer midfielder Michael Azira with a song from this month's guest band, Tyler Livingston and the Absolutes. And here's your host, David J. Maloney.
Welcome to everyone at home and in our studio audience to the Weekly Show. I am your host, David J. Maloney. Subbing in again for the Mogiles is Tyler Livingston and the Absolutes. Looked like I surprised you there for a second. Like you were like, that's my name. I got to play something. Legal recreational marijuana is now on sale in Illinois, and a 37-year-old woman camped out for 15 hours to make the first legal purchase. Friends say it was the first time they'd ever seen her use any initiative. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg's personal wealth has increased by $27.3 billion last year. Zuckerberg reacted by using the like button. Speaking of social media, it is being reported that people now have more digital conversations than actual face-to-face conversations, to which I go, OMG, what the F? And despite a global outcry, eating dog meat remains popular in Asia. It sounds gross, but they say it tastes like cat. Speaking of felines, ISIS has released another horrifying video. In this one, terrorists are forcing hostages to watch the movie version of Cats. It's like any excuse you have to do the drum riff. It's like, I don't get to do a drum riff anywhere when we do normal gigs. According to a new study, I want to start this one over because it's good. According to a new study, orangutan grunts may hold secrets about human speech and could be the key to understanding Sylvester Stallone. Lori Loughlin has hired a prison coach who is giving her tips on how to survive behind bars. For example, the coach advised the actress to make it absolutely clear that she has no information whatsoever on the Clintons. If you've never seen the Weekly Show before, keep watching. We've got a great show lined up for you guys. Our featured guest tonight is a classy midfielder currently playing for the Major League Soccer club, the Chicago Fire. He's got such a remarkable story and a very special connection to the Gulf Coast. He played college soccer for the University of Mobile Rams right here on the Gulf Coast. So we have capped Ugandan international player, Mr. Michael Azira, on the show tonight. After that, we end the night with an original song by our guest band, Tyler Livingston and the Absolutes. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we are back with Michael Azira. Michael, you've had such an incredible journey to get to where you are today. Can you kind of take us back to the beginning, like where you're originally from? What was life like growing up?
I was born and raised in Uganda, and I grew up in a family of, it was 7 of us, and we used to share a bedroom. But, I was able to get out, and I went to school in Uganda in Mengo Primary School, and then I went to Old Kampala for high school. And then I did 1 year in Uganda in college, and then I transferred to the US. I got a scholarship. I got recommended by a friend, and I ended up in Lins Wilson's College in Kentucky.
So you went from Uganda to Kentucky.
Yeah, all places. And then after that, I transferred to University of Mobile. I graduated with a business degree. Then after that, I started playing USL soccer with Charleston Battery. And then I went to Seattle. From Seattle, I went to Colorado. From Colorado, I went to Montreal. And now I'm in Chicago.
How did you find your love for soccer? I mean, how soon did you realize that it was something that you were good at?
My dad used to play soccer too, so I always wanted to be like him, as a child. You always see your dad as your superhero. So, because my dad used to play, so I used to follow him around a lot. And I think that inspired me a lot. And all my elder brothers played soccer as well. But they never got to reach the professional level. But Like enough, out of all the kids, I feel blessed and to be able to achieve what I've been able to achieve in my life and with my family, that I've been able to play professional level at the highest level possible.
And now I know there's a funny story about how you got your first cleats. Can you share that with us?
Oh yeah. Because it's back home. Is having boots is a privilege. It's not for everyone. It's not easy to have access to boots. So my mom used to give me money for breakfast. It's like it's not in my country. It's like 100 shillings. I'll say how much is that? It's like 2 pennies or something like that. And I would save it. I would put it in my palm, in my hands, and I wouldn't let go until I get back home. So I saved that money until I bought my own boots, and it was the best part. There were Lottos, and I wore these shoes. I even went to school in them. I thought I was the coolest kid on the block. I was like, these are the best. They were so nice. I was like, yes, I go to school in them. I play soccer in them. I was like, this is the best. So.
No, I mean that's it. So you actually sacrificed your meals so you could get that. That's
Yes.
One of those epic stories. Now you played college soccer here in the States, and you mentioned it earlier. How did that series of events come about? I mean, were you recruited directly out of Uganda?
Yes, I was recruited from Uganda. I was supposed to go to Winthrop University. And as they were still doing my paperwork, I was already in the country. So the coach in Winthrop told me, Michael, go at Lindsey Wilson's college. So I went and started at Lindsey Wilson's college. And after 3 years, he had called me, oh, Michael, come back at Winthrop. But I told him I'm about to graduate. I might as well finish school down here. But then I transferred to University of Mobile. And after that, that's when I was able to be able to move on and play soccer.
Now, how often do kids get scouted out of Uganda? I mean, is that common? Is that uncommon?
Yeah, it's very uncommon. It's mostly because, like me, a friend, his name is Henry Kalunji. He came here before me. He was at University of Winthrop. He recommended me to his coaches at Winthrop, and the coaches came to Uganda to watch me play. So they watched me play, and after that, he offered me a scholarship. And by then, I was in the national team. I was playing in the under 20, under 23, but I was sometimes invited to the senior side to train with the senior side, but I wasn't playing games. So we were supposed to have a game that weekend, but my passport was at the embassy. So, but to play in international friendlies, you need to have your passport. So I told the coach, I can't play, but I was in the camp. So I had to talk to the president of soccer in Uganda. I told him, my passport is at the embassy. I got a scholarship. I'm going to go to school. He's like, oh, that's good for you. So the media thought that I'd just say I ran away, that I escaped, but it was a scholarship that I'd got. And like enough, he let me leave, and I was able to come to the US for school.
Now, this has nothing to do with soccer. What do you think of American food, or what did you think of American food and culture when you first got here? Did you go immediately into culture shock?
Yeah, there were a lot of differences. First of all, the time that the Americans have their meals, I didn't know, because back home lunch is like between 1 and 2 p.m. and dinner is between 9 and 10 p.m. at night. Sometimes
it sounds like my family.
Yeah, so the first day that we got dropped off on campus, we thought, the next day we'll go have breakfast at maybe 10 or something like that. So we slept because we're tired from the flight. But we woke up at 1 p.m. We were like, let's just go have lunch. We reached the cafeteria. It was closed. I was like, okay, maybe let's wait for dinner. Dinner is at 8 or 9. So we slept again because we're so tired. And then we woke up at 9. We went to the cafeteria. It was closed. I was like, Americans don't eat or what? What's going on? But the next day we had to go to the office. We asked, Coach, what time are the meals? You didn't tell us what time are the meals. Like, oh, you have to go to the cafeteria. Breakfast between 6 to 8 to 9, and then lunch is at 11. I was like, oh, great.
So you had to learn that. So, you had to learn that whole new schedule. So at what point, or what was the point where you realized playing in the MLS was actually a possibility? I mean, when do you think did you have a big break moment?
Me, mostly since I was young, I always wanted to play soccer. I always wanted to play at the highest level possible. So I always kept that in the back of my mind. And after I finished college, or when I was about to finish college, like everyone gets this, like, what am I going to do after college? But like I always had that dream in my mind. I'm like, I want to play soccer. So after college, like enough, I went to the USL Combine because I was not invited to the MLS Combine. I was like, so I had friends, like the PDL coach I played for. He invited, like, Michael, maybe go try out at USL, and you never know. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, this might be my chance. I don't care where I go play. I don't care how much they pay me. I just want to get my foot in the door. I just want to get playing time. That's all I want. Mm-hmm. I don't care about the money. So like enough, Charleston signed me. And I think I was getting like, I don't know, $1,300, something like that, or $1,400. But like, I didn't care about the money. I just wanted the contract. I just wanted to get in the league. So like enough, I scored in the championship game for Charleston to win the trophy. So the coach signed me for the next season. And next season, I had a great year. I had scored around 8 goals. And then I was invited to Seattle because the coach in Charleston knew the people in Seattle. He said, hey, there's a kid. Would you mind taking a look at him? So out of the blue, I don't know how God does this. So I was invited to Seattle, and they were going to play that. By that time, we still have the reserve league. And when I reached in Portland, Seattle was going to play Portland in the reserve game. And one of the players, Steven Zakwani, he retired now. He said that he doesn't want to play in the reserve league. The coach had put me on the bench. And then out of the blue, the coach said, Michael, be ready, get up. I was like, okay. I said a short prayer. I was like, God, if this is your will, let it be done. And if this is my chance, let me go out there and shine. And they put me in a position I'd never played before. They put me on the left midfield. And like enough, I played so well and I scored. I worked hard.
From a midfield position.
Yeah, I scored the winning goal and it was nice. They told me you have to come back for preseason. And I was like, this is it. So I went in preseason. I gave it all. They tried me in so many positions, but I was like, I didn't care. I just want to get my chance out there. If I get a chance, I'm going to give it all. So I went and I did all my best, and out of the blue, the preseason was about to end, and the head coach said, Michael, we're going to sign you. Oh my God, it was the best moment ever, It was just amazing. And I was like, yes, I did it. So they signed me in Seattle I played in Seattle for 2 years. It was really nice. I had a good time there.
Wow, that is awesome. And on that positive story, we're going to take a break for commercials to pay the bills for a minute, and then we'll be right back after that with Michael Azira. And we are back with Michael Azira. Michael, you've had a fantastic career in the MLS. We were talking about that before the break. What have been some of your favorite memories so far from being in the MLS?
The memories I think have been that, I've got a chance to play with the players I used to watch on TV, in the Premier League. Some players have been playing in the Premier League, You watch these guys on TV and you're like, I'm going to play with the same guy on the same field. It's just amazing, I've been blessed a lot to play with David Villa, Andrea Pirlo, Bastian Schweinsteiger, Obafemi Martins, Clint Dempsey, all these guys, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, these are great players. And, you're like, I get to share these moments with these guys on the same field. Those have been some of the memories, that, I'll always keep, with me. And people always ask me about it, but I was like, these guys are human beings too. They on TV, you're like, man, look at this guy. Will I ever be like this guy? But then you get to play against these guys, and you're like, we're all human beings at the end of the day, and they're really great people. They've been awesome. They've been kind to me, and some of them have given me their shirts and stuff like that to keep for myself as have a memorabilia, and I'll put it in my man cave someday. So they've been some good memories, and I'll cherish them for a long time.
Speaking of teammates, which teammates would you say you've probably learned the most from?
Oh man, I've learned a lot from a lot of people. I won't say this guy or this guy. There's always something you can learn from someone, It's we can't stop learning from people. And even besides playing against these players I've seen on TV, even the players here in America, the people have been in my locker room, there's so much to learn out there, like the work ethic and taking care of your body, eating right and going to bed early, and just the simple things, because as a professional soccer player or any athlete, resting is very important, and what you eat, it's very, very important. Doing the little things, is what matters the most. And then being mentally strong, because not everyone is going to like you, and people have no time to babysit you. So you have to be ready to face all these hardships and be ready to learn from them and adapt to all the changes that come around. Like, we're going to have a new coach, you're going to have new teammates. How can you make them feel comfortable in the locker room? How can you help the next guy? So there's a lot that I've learned all along this time, and I feel really blessed that I've been able to be part of this journey and being part of other people's lives.
Who would you say are some of the hardest opponents that you've had to face on the soccer field, whether it be in the MLS or internationally? I mean, have there been some that just were, just the hardest you've seen?
Yeah, Jose Altuve is a tank. He's a big guy. And then there is Andrea Pirlo. He used to play for Italy. Mm-hmm. And then David Villa, he used to play for Spain. He's such a good player. And there are a lot of other guys. Almiron used to play for Atlanta. Now he's played for Newcastle United. Mm-hmm. These are some of the toughest opponents that I've faced.
Some big names. Now, speaking of internationals, what was it like being on the final roster for Uganda during the 2017 Africa Cup of Nations? I mean, that had to be like an incredible experience.
Yeah, that was like, a dream come true. Because to me, I always think that, any player playing for your national team, I think it's one of the highest honors you can get in football. And it was such an amazing moment for me and my family, and my wife has been very supportive since the beginning. And ever since I got back on the national team, she's like, Michael, this is what you always wanted to do, go play. I'll be here, I'll take care of our kids. And so she's been very supportive in every moment. And that was one of the best moments in life, that go back on the African Cup of Nations, in Egypt. We had a good run in the tournament and playing against some good teams. And it's one of the best moments in my life.
Now, on top of being a professional MLS player, you also started a charity back in Uganda, correct? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I did. I started with my friends, and because back home we used to play in these tournaments, and these tournaments disappeared now. And we wanted to find a way how we can help other kids, to help them to achieve their goals and achieve their dreams. So we started a tournament. It's called Pearl of Africa Youth Championship. And so usually I go back home and I visit different academies and I share my story with them, and I tell them, they're capable of being successful. Don't let your circumstance or something like that define you. Know that you're capable of being successful, because sharing my story with them to where I've come from to where I am right now, I'm like, you're capable of being successful too. It's not just me alone. And so we organized this tournament, and this year we had 58 teams, and the championship was in last month, and it took place in Kampala, and it was successful, and it was able to motivate a lot of kids, and we had a great impact on them. And some local coaches came to watch the kids play, and some kids got some scholarships.
Oh, wow.
So the emphasis on education. And then we encourage them, go to school first. Right now your main focus is to do school as you play, but put school first, because your career is the time you spend without playing soccer is longer than the time you play. So always encourage them to be in school and emphasize them to be in school as much as they can, but also enjoying the game that they love to play.
Now, why was it important for you to give back in this way?
Because, all of us were capable of being great in one way or the other. I had life. And one guy, I went to him and I told him, how can I ever repay you? he told me, Michael, just pass it on. So I want to do it for another kid. If there is a chance that he can come over, he can have a scholarship, or he can be able to go play somewhere, I want to be able to help him, to be part of his journey, as someone was part of my journey to get to where I am right now. So we give back mostly to, it's about passing it forward to others, because other people have done it for us. Why should we hold on to it? We should be able to share. God has blessed me with this platform, and I want to use it for other kids so they can be able to achieve their dreams.
Michael, do you have a website or social media that we can put up on the screen to share with people so they can follow you and even the charity stuff that you do?
Yeah, for my Instagram, I use 32 Azira. And on Facebook, we have Pay Championship. It's Pearl of Africa Youth. It's Pay, P-A-Y, Pay Championship. And then the website is pearlofafricayouth.org. But, it's a charity that is still in the process of being registered. But usually we encourage any kind of support, to help the kids back home, because there's so much need out there. I was able to go home and I saw where I came from, and I was like, this is amazing, just to spend time with the kids and visiting different places just to see how kids are hungry, to be successful. And so far, it's been good so far, but, and all the people have been able to support us through all this. We are truly thankful for all that they've done for us. And people can always find us on Facebook on Faith Championship.
Well, Michael, we are thankful for having you on the show today. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you for being available for us. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Azira.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I want to say a special thanks to Michael Azira for joining us by Skype tonight. Closing out tonight's show, it is Tyler Livingston and the Absolutes with another original song, Another Show. Another Show.
Sitting in my room thinking about you. I don't know where you are or what to do. And there's no way in hell our paths will cross tonight. There's a hope in my heart that they might. What would you do? You only knew. This feeling, I know where it goes, but tomorrow you'll be gone, but I'll just go to another show, to another show, baby, to another show now.